G'day, guys, and welcome to the Supercoach Swordplay channel. You're on with me, Janeth. I'm joined by Bernsey for the Week 18 NBL GDS podcast. Look, Bernsey, Boz and D have decided to abandon us. No. They've just been busy today. So us two are going at it for the Week 18 podcast after only 5 games on the weekend with Hoops Fest. We had single games across the board. But before that, Bernsey, how are you doing, mate? You had a good start to the week?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'll be honest, I've actually totally thrown my back out right now, and it absolutely sucks. That sounds like such an old man thing to say, and I'm feeling old right now. Yeah, kids. I don't know about my kids, but like playing with kids, they hurt, man.
Oh man, it would have been more justified if you said it was your own kids, but that's right, brother. What is it? Hopefully we can lift your spirits with this podcast tonight. Well, I guess we'll dive straight into and go through the results. Now, I have some results from some of the boys, but I'm just going to have to fill in the gaps a little bit here. So across the board, I think we're smashing it. As a podcast, we're smashing it. D, Boz is coming in the top 10 for starter. So he's in 5th in starter. DR's in 11th, and I'm in 13th. Bernsey, how are your results going either weekly or for the seasonal?
Oh, look, I'll be honest, both of those have tanked pretty hard. If I just jump to my starter weekly, I think... sorry, that's the round. The round was not good, out at 90. Season about 27th. And contender, I think similar thing, 38th. So this week I tanked pretty hard in the sense that I was telling Jonathan beforehand, but I accidentally left Sylvia in my teams. So yeah, I think I got a lot of the other stuff right, but just getting a 0 in one category just go sliding straight down the charts. So
yeah, and it's so hard because like with the Sobe news obviously coming out once the round started, even if you did have the choice to change it, like it was slim pickings really. So tough luck there, Bernsey. Personally, I had a really good week. So finished 6th in contender and finished 2nd in classic. So I was 3 points away from a classic win. Even still, like without really spending much money on the game, getting $50 and 2 3-player common packs as a reward for coming 2nd is pretty neat and handy there. And so now into 3rd in classic seasonal, so 318 points behind the weekly and the seasonal leader, Cow Park B Basketball Club there. And also coming 3rd in contender, only 49 points behind though, Izzy. The GOAT, Izzy, one of our loyal channel members over here. So hopefully, Izzy, I'm on your tail here. Watch your back, but look, you're a legend as well, and you're leading starter as well. So he's got the double going at the moment, starter and contender. What a G. But hopefully all goes well moving forward. Shall we go through the results for Hoops Fest then, Bernsey? So I know that you watched the Kings Bullets game. Do you just want to give us a short summary as to what you saw with some of the players? Then speaking of the devil, here is Izzy. How's it going? Going well, mate. It would be going better if I can catch up to you, but you're doing very well, legend. So all the best for the rounds ahead as well. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, I don't know if you're allowed to say that where you are, Janeth. If I say it, it's acceptable because I'm so far back. But when you're 3rd, I don't know if you can say it. I'd be too better if I was 1st.
All in good spirits, Bernsey and Izzy.
Yeah. But look, Kings Bullets, I think kind of went as predicted, but at the same time, not quite. I think everyone was really expecting a massacre here from the Kings, but I think Bullets actually put up a pretty good fight, stayed pretty relatively close for most of the game. And yeah, I guess predictable results, but a little bit closer than expected. I had some Bullets actually put out some good scores. Duke has actually had a good game, which hasn't done much of since coming to the NBL. So that was good to see. And then Noy, I think Noy is a real talking point here. I mean, with Cooks gone, he has been electric for the Kings. This is like back-to-back weeks where he's put up like top tier scores. I think this week is the 2nd highest scoring power forward. So a genuine option that I feel like we should be considering.
Yeah, and it's a great point you raised there, mate, because we're now bringing in names like Noy that wouldn't have been on radars, if any radars, but now he's a player coming off the bench, but the fact that he can score the ball, he can get He can get stats in the other peripheral columns well. 10 defensive rebounds, pretty impressive for a player coming off the bench there as well. Do you know who else has really impressed me a lot from that Sydney team? Is Tyler Robertson. He's sharp. Like, whenever he gets the ball, he's just chucking it up. And he looks like prime Klay Thompson out there. He is very, very good. But it was good to see that the Bullets were able to stay in that game. And that probably allowed Kendrick to get to 59 in the end. He was looking a bit grim at one point. But yeah, when we look at the Wildcats-Hawks game, another game that I was watching very intently with just to see what the makeup of the Hawks look like. And just some intel here, well, looking just from viewing, Sam Froling didn't play second in the fourth quarter. Like he started the third quarter, played a couple of minutes. Him and JaVale were, I don't know whether it was again matchup, but there were times when JLA was on the court and neither of the Hawks centers were on the court, with Justin Tatum going really small ball. So what this means for Froling moving forward, I thought he'd be the one that was secure for minutes, even above McGee. Like we were talking about last week, them prioritizing the Australian over the import. But Froling was the one that didn't play. And McGee certainly did make the most of his time on the court, scoring that 60. But he looks so bad. Like, I don't know how when he's going to the rim, if he was dunking and making, like, he got the ball just below the ring and he couldn't jump to dunk it. Like, that's how bad he was at one point. Like, I think that maybe his legs is getting weary. You're still playing him, but it's not like the start of the season. It just looks like he's lost all his legs and capacity to just jump. Anyway, did you have any takeaways just looking at the scores there, Vernsey, for Perth? Like, Doolittle was the point guard or the pseudo point guard again. Is he just locking every week now?
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing with Doolittle. When he's hot, he's hot. But, like, when he's not, he is non-existent. Right now, he's on fire, though. I think you ride the purple patch while it's happening. I think Perth have found a good groove right now. They're winning games. They beat Sem last week, who obviously have been on a tear recently. So I think this is the formula, ball in Doolittle's hand. So yeah, I would back in Doolittle as probably the most comfortable power forward we have. I mean, with obviously McGee, the crazy thing there is, as you said, the man couldn't even jump and he still put down a lazy 60. Like, that's that's wild.
Yeah. And just the same thing with Doolittle. So Perth didn't sign a third import. So they don't have a point guard on the bench. They're going to back in Duke Jr. when he returns, if he returns. But I think his return won't impact GDS regular season, because I think the only way Duke Jr.'s return timetable lines up is if they make like the finals or something. So it looks like Doolittle and Windler will have plenty of the ball in their hands. Now with Windler and Doolittle, they both play basically every second of the second half. Windler could have gone a bit bigger. His shot just wasn't on. There's times where Doolittle passed it to Windler and you'd like, oh, come on, 8 points here, 4 points for the Doolittle assist and 4 points for the Windler 3-point. You just couldn't convert. But I reckon that 1-2 punch will fire on all cylinders, given especially, I think Perth have 2 home games this week as well. So that should be quite handy there. Looking at the Taipans Breakers game, this game was all about one man, Parker Jackson Cartwright. Now, Boz isn't here, but 17 points, 10 assists, 5 steals, and no turnovers. Like, what a special player. What a special game. Like, those are the types of games where you can't fade PJC, just the fact that he can deliver this on any given day. And then we had McVeigh and Menenga on 50 points each. Both look good. I thought Menenga would do quite well in this matchup, especially playing against Cairns' non-existent centers. A player like Menenga is really suited for that. And now, especially that Robert Baker is injured and out for the season, Menenga to the moon for those who have cards for him. Vernsey, what do you have to make of this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, look, you sort of summed it up really well. The top 3 of the main 3 we're looking at, PJC, McVeigh, and Menenga. And they all fired. They all would have been really good to have in your sides if you had them. And Menenga is someone that also has been a bit up and down, a bit hot and cold this season. I think last week we talked about getting him in our teams and didn't pay off, but this week he would have. So just gotta ride him on the right week, which can be so hard to guess.
And 2 other sort of talking points from this match. But Andrew Andrews, this is the problem with going for like a pod point guard. Only 30 because he only had the 5 assists, 4 turnovers, 3 personal fouls. You're basically looking at minus 18 deficit there. And he only got 20 points from the assists this week. So really tough there. Karim Lopez, again, he's looking really promising. And I mentioned on the podcast last week that there is a world where Windler and Lopez both outscored Cheatham in the tougher matchup against them. And that's what happened. Cheatham got to 36, Lopez and Windler both got to 40. But I think Lopez left a bigger score on the table, 16 points, 6 rebounds, including 6 defensive rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds. So double there. But he had 3 turnovers and 4 personal fouls. So he's looking at a minus 17. So that could have been a 50-plus score there. And I think this is what we're going to see from a potential top 10 NBA draftee with Karim Lopez. So really promising signs there. The best game of the round, arguably, United against the Jackies. This looked like a really good game. Magne, I played him across the comps, across Classic and Contender, that is. And he was on 48. Oh, he was on 43 at halftime. And I was like, oh, here we go. Now, I didn't get watched the second half because it was a bit late, but he just finishes he gets to 55 and you're like, it's not a bad score, but when it plays, if you just told me got to 55, I'm really happy. But when you tell me he was on 43 at halftime, you're like, oh, come on, Magne. But did you play anyone from this matchup, Bernsey?
No, this was a matchup I stayed away from. I mean, we know it's a defensive heavy matchup. I think we joked about last week that it won't even get above, I think we said maybe 70 points as a joke, but didn't get above 80, which very low scoring. You compare it to like the SEM matchup. There's a lot less shots taken there, a lot more methodical. There's less rebounding, there's less scoring, there's less turnovers. It's usually a fantasy dry well, that kind of matchup. And to be fair, it was excluding sort of the big men. So, Jesse Edwards went to work, obviously Magne and Bannon went to work, and then the rest it's a little bit lackluster. But I think what was surprising here, I think Jesse Edwards last few weeks he's popped off. Now I don't know, Jesse Edwards is a hard one to read because he was good early in the season and we got really hyped on him, and then he did nothing for the next 10 weeks, and then he's been good the last couple of weeks. So it's a hard one.
Really tough one. But no, great summation there, Bernsey. I think that's something we got to be looking into, is sort of thinking outside the box a little bit, especially if like a McGee was to be shut down for the season. You want to have a pivot option there, and Edwards may just become relevant, especially with United fighting for that playing spot. And then we look at the 36-7 matchup. Now, the big span in the works was thrown when Nathan Sobey was ruled out before the Taipans Breakers game, and a lot of people had to pivot to whether it was a Milton Doyle for United, Bryce Hamilton for the Jackies, which is where I went, or like an Angus Glover, Ian Clark. Like there was plenty of these types that you're like, oh my goodness, I'm left with nothing, really. And Sam did get the job done. And I guess this is another one where you can see Owen Foxwell was always going to go big in this matchup for you blokes. But 78, that shows his potential. And if Sobey was to miss another game, for instance, down the line, Foxy's got the keys to this offense, doesn't he?
Oh, 100%. I mean, look, if you have a Foxwell card, I'm not saying throw it out right. Don't have to play it right now. But this is a dynasty platform. He is a card you hold on to. I know I've got a silver of him, and I'm so glad to see that. Will it, I usually use it in my classic squad just to make up the sort of numbers there. But definitely something that we can, you can look at using going forward. And honestly, I wouldn't even be against, putting a little bit of, getting a little bit of a cheap Foxwell now before he starts really exploding over the next few years. But absolutely love what he's producing. But outside of that, pretty low scoring overall. 44 from Bryce is definitely one of the lower scores we've seen from him. But outside of that, nobody did anything crazy in this game outside of just Foxwell going bananas.
Bryce has shown his humor the last couple of weeks. He's had scores of 34 and 44 in the last 2 weeks. So he has shown that he can be susceptible to a lower score by his standards, but I reckon he'll bounce back big time on the double game week. Let's go quickly to the ladder then, Bernsey. So nothing's really changed. United sitting in fourth, but very closely followed by the Wildcats. I think those two will be fighting for that fourth spot there. But I guess the big sort of turning point is, can the Breakers make a very late push to get into that Jackie spot? So we'll see about, they got a game in hand as well, just 1.5 games behind the Jackies. And it'd be interesting to see how they go in that regard. Looks like the Bullets and Taipans and the Hawks, that matter, their seasons look basically dead and buried. But really close up the top as well. Just a 2 games split in your boys and the 36ers as well, Bernsey. So hopefully for your boys, I reckon they could make a very, very late ditch attempt to get their minor premiership.
Yeah, look, the minor premiership would be cool. I don't know if we've ever had one since we've come to the league. I don't think we have.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool to grab. But I'm more interested in just holding on to the top two. Kings are in red hot form. They are
really
looking
good.
real good. Yeah.
And
So
this is without a lot of players as well. Like
Yeah.
Cooks is to return. It's gonna be a good, really good team. That
Yeah, they had Delhi missing as well.
Delhi,
I don't know if or when he'll come back because of the concussion, and he's had such a history with those. So best of luck to him, of course. But yeah, I'd love to see us hold on to that. That's more important than taking first. Give us that bye so we don't have to deal with this little play-in.
That's it, isn't it, Venzi? Well, let's go on to talk about some positions then. We won't talk as comprehensive because I think we talked a lot about the players last week.
Yeah.
Like looking at the point guards, PJC and Kendrick, they're just on another level and they just demonstrate the consistency. QJ Peterson didn't play on the weekend either. So Will Hickey got a bit more of an extended run, especially in those small ball lineups. But I think right now, unless you're really looking for a pod option, you're not looking past the first two, are you, Verzi?
No way. Just straight facts. Lock them in.
I mean, easy as that. Go to the shooting guards then. Bryce, once again, one of those players where you don't think twice about, especially, I guess, a lot of coaches, if they were ever contemplating fading Bryce, learned the hard way this week. When we lost Sobey and we didn't have Hickey, there was no one else to go to that you could confidently trust. So you're locking in Cotton. And then I think if Sobey's in, which he's been confirmed actually from Sam Burns, you were telling offline before that Sobey's confirmed to be joining the main squad again and back in training after illness. And so I think you roll with him as long as Hickey is not starting. But there is a case, like we can see with that average there, Hickey's been on the bench for a couple of weeks now, but he's still averaging 59. So he still does have a safe floor with the assists in particular, but Sobey's playing at an MVP level.
Yeah, 100%. Just shout out to Pleb. Obviously, we love Pleb here, and he usually delivers the goods, and that's definitely where I saw the information about Sobey returning from illness. Good news, he wasn't dead, even though, as you mentioned, it was a bit alluded to it, the way his jersey was on the bench.
Well, I mean, they put the jersey on the bench is like playing for you, Sobes, as if he'd passed away or something, but he just crooked a little bit. But look, maybe they did light the fire in the belly of the Sem because they got the job done over the ladder leaders. Now, you did mention that Pleb is the bearer of good news normally. He's also the bearer of bad news because I think Javon Freeman-Liberty has been confirmed to play his last game for the season, unfortunately. I packed a diamond off his a couple of weeks ago, and look, I thought he'd come back, but now he's not coming back. So it looks like that's a dead card right there. Hopefully he can make a return to the NBL, but with all the shenanigans that's gone on with him this year, I just don't think that may eventuate. Yeah. And Hamilton, I just don't know with him. He's just, the usage just isn't there for him. Like, he was a handy fallback option this week, but really the shooting guard's become a bit of a death trap in a way as well. Let's go into the centers then, Fernsey. So we were talking last week about how McGee was splitting minutes with Froling, who was in this top five. I think he was at third, actually. And now Froling's just fallen all the way out of the top five here. So it's a new look top five again. We've got Magne jumping up into second. JLA's gone down into fourth, and Menenga's come up into third. So I guess this is the position after McGee. It's a bit of a cluster here. How would you rank those last four, Vernsey, in terms of your confidence in starting them every given week?
My lord, it is so hard. Definitely the hardest second position to pick. Just for the TLDR, Harrison is confirmed to remain under concussion protocol, so he will still be out, guys, unfortunately. Expected to return before the end of the season. Once again, thank you, Pleb. With these, it's so hard, and it's so funny because halfway through the year, if you told me this is how it was going to shape up at the end, no way. No way. It's McGee, it's Harrison, it's JLA, and scratch the rest. But no, with the way it is at the moment, I mean, look, it's so hard to tell. Like, it's really just a bit of a lottery. You're picking a name out of the hat, and any given week you seem to get it right. We talked about Jesse Edwards, maybe a bit of a purple patch right now, and sometimes you got to ride that hot hand, saying that he's going into United who don't have Harrison, so could be the pick to maybe try and target this Bullets matchup, missing their main center and Holt having to play as the backup, and then McGee's also going into them. So that we definitely love that, and definitely one I will consider. We all know I got a diamond Jesse Edwards, platinum Jesse Edwards last week. Diamond? Yeah. I don't know. I'll check it out. It's definitely a good card, though. So I've been running that in my classic, and I loved it. But But yeah, it's so hard to pick. What about you, man? What are you vibing?
Oh, look, I think based off of what we know right now, hopefully Magne is actually all right. I heard that he had a bit of a foot issue, which I think he's had for a while now in his career. But hopefully he's okay. In terms of ceiling, on a double game week, I think you've just got to go Magne because he can really deliver you that ceiling score. And he's showing a little bit of consistency. After that, I'm trusting Menenga. I think even though he doesn't rack it up in the steals and blocks, he's really shown that he can score the ball and be a secondary sort of complementary piece to PJC. And he's been a great pickup for New Zealand, actually. I think he's looked really, really good for them. And then Froling's still in that mix. Like, if he can come back into the lineup, I'm not sure. I think Justin Taylor's coaching with a bit of anger at the moment. And he's going off at the refs most of the time. He's just having a really hard time of it. If he can just figure things out with this 2-center lineup, it's still a deadly combination, which is probably their point of difference. But at the same time, the reason why they struggle to put that point of difference out there is that not many other teams have competent centers that can be run and be used at the same time. So it's a bit of a heartache because you have this point of difference that you can't use because the other teams don't have anything to counter it. So it's like, where do you go from there? So with JLA as well, he's just such a meh pick, if you know what I mean. Like, he doesn't fill you with much confidence. He'll probably get you that 25-30 every week, but that's not really going to win you many weeks. So I reckon the top 3 is probably where to go if you want to like stick in. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, you got to consider form here. And with JLA, you might not see it, but we don't see like the last 5 rounds or anything like that, their average. In reality, this guy was up averaging over 50 points for a lot of the season. And the point he's dropped down to 41 means he's probably tanking at like a 30, maybe even a sub 30 average over the last 5-6 weeks. It's been awful, unfortunately. And just quickly on Menenga too, I really love his matchups. He's going into Kings, who Suarez is their only center, and then they don't really have anyone after that, and then he goes into JLA, who we just talked about has dead legs. So that might be good, might not be. I feel like Magne isn't the most mobile at times, so sometimes tries to just be brute force through his opponents, and I don't know if that works against McGee. He's just too long.
So with regards to Menenga, Menenga plays Salmon 36. Did you mean someone else? Who did you mean?
Sorry, Magne was what I was meant to say.
Magne, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're right. So Magne plays the Kings first up on the Thursday, and then the 36ers.
Then Illawarra.
Oh, so yeah, sorry, Illawarra? No. So I'm reading this wrong as well. Illawarra. So yeah. There's too many matchups. I'm looking at the wrong images. So you got that right there. But Magne, if he's healthy, I think you just fire him up and let him go, because look, JaVale's not really playing much defense. I reckon Magne could have a good time, but both of them could have a good time of it on the weekend there. So let's move on and talk about the power forwards. Oh, this is not correct. Sorry. We got the same screen here. What I will do is, that is my mistake. What I'll do is I'll bring up the stats on the actual stats center here with regards to the small forwards. So we're having a look at the power forwards. We got Christian Doolittle up. We got Jack McVeigh up the top at 53.9. He's just the type where you just want to lock and load him in every week, because now with Wardenberg out, there's not too many other sort of plays that have really taken the ball away. He's getting the assists again. He's getting the rebounds again. Burns, is he just a player that you're just happy to lock in now at whatever rarity you have?
Yeah, I don't have a Jack McVeigh at all. So if I did,
I will sort you out, mate. Don't you worry.
No, it's all good. I like playing without him. You know, it means that I can play Noy and Doolittle, and I don't think twice about it. You know, McVeigh would make me, maybe not do it.
Oh, that is all good, mate. But yeah, I think McVeigh is a player that if you have a card of him, you just go for it. If you have a look at the points scored at the power forward position, he's far and away above from Bannon, Doolittle. Like, no one's in the 400s apart from him. And then we have a look, and Doolittle and Bannon have both played 5 more games than him as well. So he's really, really doing well there. And even by the assists, he's leading in assists as well. Doolittle, I think, is the other one that's sort of the next cab off the rank. As we talked about before, he's back into form. No point guard there means the ball goes through him. And I think he had 18 or 17 free throws in the weekend. Like, he was just getting hacked at the end for Illawarra to get the ball back. And he kept drilling them. So can't complain there. And then Cooks, I've heard is potentially due to return in the second matchup this week. So that he won't play against the Jackies, which could be good news for a Magnate type as well, but he should return against the 36ers. Is there any temptation for you, Bernsey, if you own a Cook's card, to go against? Like, if let's hypothetically say you had McVeigh and Doolittle, would you be tempted to go for a Cook's type on a one game with one game?
No way. I mean, worst case scenario, what happens if he doesn't end up playing that second game? You know, you just lose points for nothing.
Exactly.
I think you don't take the risk there. We can worry about it next week if he does return. Yeah, I really think it's McVeigh, Doolittle. Unfortunately, John Brown's really fallen off recently, and Josh Bannon's been okay. We sort of highlighted how well Noy's been, and if you want to take a punt, I'm more interested in Noy over John Brown or Josh Bannon, honestly.
There is Noy. So Noy he's looking quite good. I would love to see what he's if we sort of
Had
think
like
about
3-round
Noy as a
average.
that's what but he's doing this off the bench. But I think the problem becomes with Noy as well, equally as we talked about with who was it, Cooks. Like when Cooks comes back, what happens to Noy? Like, does his usage come down? Does his minutes go down? So Noy in the last 3 games has gone 36, 21, 52. So handy at the power forward position. I think that if I was to rank them, I'd go McVeigh, Doolittle, Bannon, and then the rest. Cooks is probably going to fit into that mix somewhere. It's just good to get a game to see, as you said, Bernsey, as to what he looks like going there. Let's go back then to the slides and go to the small forwards, because again here, there's probably 3 main options. And Karim Lopez has made this a 3-way conversation now, I think, with Cheatham, Winland, Lopez. This is very matchup dependent, don't you think, Bernsey?
Look, it's too hard to turn away from Cheatham. Let's just be honest here. It's too hard to turn away. Even his bad games aren't that bad. Like what? He had 36 this week, and Windler and Lopez both scored 40. You'd consider that good games for them and an average game or bad game from Cheatham, and he still scored by only 4. Risk versus reward, you don't not go Cheatham. But yes, Windler versus Lopez. I personally like Windler. I think... I mean, obviously they had hoops fixed this week, and I think they, as you mentioned, 2 home games at Perth, but I do feel like the usage is going through Windler now as well. I feel like it's one of those purple patchy things, very similar to Doolittle, where he's down as being bad, but he's good's being good. Right now he's hot, so play him while he's hot, you know?
Yeah. It's a great point you raised there, Bernsey, because I don't have the data on me, but I would love to have a statistical association between Cheatham's best games and Cotton's best games. Because the amount of times that Cheatham would just give the dump off straight into a 3 for Cotton for the +8. Like that just feels like a tried and tested formula for them. But Cotton's shot has been off, which means that Cheatham's not getting the assist numbers in the last couple of games. But as soon as Cotton is back on, I think Cheatham scores will also go up equally. And then, it could just come down to Lopez, Windler, what the matchups are. Personally, I think when we're looking at matchups this week, and we're going to talk about matchups very, very soon, Bernsey, but with the Breakers playing the 36ers and Sem, I think they're going to be 2 tough matchups. The top 2 teams for the Breakers, whereas for the Wildcats, they've got United and they've got the Cairns Taipans both at home. So I think matchups-wise, Windler probably has the edge there. And then you play him with Cheatham. But Lopez, Awundu was one that I played in starters a pod when Sobey was out, but he only scored 33. I just don't think that you can get the consistent scoring out of him there. We got a question here from Izzy. He's asked, what money value would you put on a Diamond McGee right now? I know McGee's were selling early this year for around the 125, 150 mark. What would you say, Bernsey, with regards to McGee? There's none on the mark now. He may not return to the NBL after this. Like, it's a tough one with the dynasty format. What would you say for him?
That's exactly right. He may not return, and that's the biggest thing. You could pay money for a card that's potentially good right now. As we sort of mentioned last week, we think, if anything, Illawarra may start going away from him as well, sort of thing. It's hard because unless you're, like, hunting a top position in Classic or something like that, and you need a Diamond McGee to make the difference, sort of thing. Who's really buying that card for a good amount of money? Like, it sucks, but gosh, are you overreaching it? Gosh, I want to say 25, but like that.
Oh, 25.
It's
Yeah.
just, I guess, as I said, at the start of the season when he was doing what he was doing, and
Yeah.
so much of the season where he could win you the season as a
Yeah.
Diamond, McGee, huge. Right now, end of the season, the card's going to be dead in a few weeks' time. The value's
Yeah.
not really there. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's quite interesting because I don't have the opposite take to you. I just think that he's still far and away the best center in the
yeah,
game, regardless. Like we talked about, like he could be a fossil and he'd still probably get 40 GDS points. Like that's the type of player he is. So if you're in challenge or champion and you don't have a Diamond McGee, I can see someone looking at him at around the $60 to $75 mark, depending
yeah,
on how desperately you did want him. So I think he's still got some value in him. It's just that if you had one you're looking to trade, I wouldn't hold off hoping that his value goes up because the risk is that he may not come back. And so
yeah.
if you can get the value now, you cash in now, sort of thing, Izzy. So
Well, there's the few
that's
things.
that's our take on it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you get confirmation he's coming back or something like that, obviously
Yeah.
value goes through the roof. He's coming back huge, sort of thing. But as I said, unless you're, as you mentioned, you're targeting these top echelon players,
Yeah.
who are trying to win,
Yeah.
the overall rankings. Who else is buying that card? Let's be honest.
And that's the problem with the imports. Like the JFL that I had a couple of weeks ago, when I did pack him after he did get injured, but like at the start of the season, he probably could have been $100 card. Now he's probably an exchange card. Like that's how quickly things can change the NBL landscape with these imports that can be removed at any given point. It's not like the AFL where definitively that without injury, like a Jordan Dawson is going to be on the team at the end of the season and into next season. Like he can safely go into those cards, but it's a bit hard in the NBL and BBL landscapes, that sort of thing. All right, let's look ahead to the fixture then, Vernsey, because we did talk about a couple of things before. So every team has a double this week. We're playing Wednesday through Monday. If we have a look at sort of the fixture splits, so United has a 4-day break between Wednesday and Sunday. Sem has a 3-day break between Wednesday and Saturday. The Kings play on Thursday and Sunday, so only a couple of 3 days there. Wildcats play on Thursday and Sunday, so they also have a couple of days off. Breakers are the ones, they only have a 2-day split between Wednesday and Friday. And the same goes to the 36. It's only 2-day split between the Friday and the Sunday. And then the Taipans have a 2-day split as well between Thursday and Saturday. So, and the Hawks as well, 2 days, Saturday and Monday. So if we look there, United has the biggest fixture gap along with the Bullets as well. The Bullets have 1 day extra actually, but you're not really picking anyone out of will from the Bullets, let's say. So is there any matchups that stand out to you in isolation, Vernsey, even if it's because they're all doubles, but is there a specific matchup that you're like, okay, even if the player goes 30 in one game, I can trust them to go 50 in the next one, or vice versa?
Yeah, look, I mean, we're always looking at matchups against Bullets, matchups against Taipans, matchups against Hawks. They're thought of the three that you're looking at. Bullets is always numero uno because they're just a mess, especially in that center department. So we love seeing McGee having that matchup. As we mentioned, Edwards having that matchup. And then Taipans. To be fair, Taipans at times, sometimes, they show glimpses, but other times they get pounded by 35. So this could be one of those weeks playing 2 games away from home against, in my opinion, they're 2 formidable teams. Wildcats have also hit some form recently, and Sem absolutely massacring teams if they don't show up. So yeah, it could be a bloodbath there. It's just a bit hard with Sem because we know they split the points a lot. I think Sobi's obviously going to be a good go-to here. 2 pretty good matchups in that side of things. But yeah, that's usually what we're looking at there.
Yeah, I like that, Vertin. If we just have a look at the matchups at home as well. So the Kings have the 2 matchups against Jackies and 36ers. Sem has the 2 home matchups against Breakers and Taipans. And also the Wildcats have the 2 home matchups against Taipans and United. So perhaps if we look at those teams and then we split it a bit further, like you're saying, there's no one that gets 2 of 3, if I'm reading that correctly, off those easy matchups for players that we're really looking to target. But I think across the board, based off the positions we said, Vernsey, there's players that you can say each position should be locked in, like the PJCs, Davis types. Like you're not really going away from them. And then we talk about like at small forward, you personally, I think a Winlow over a Lopez this week, but you could well and truly go Lopez and bank on him sort of breaking out in one of those tougher matchups.
Yeah, it does also make you question a little bit. I mean, 7-2 easy matchups. Do you wonder if this is one of those games where Brown's going to come out and get 8 steals? A one who's going to get 6 himself. Both these matchups for Sem are at the State Center as well. So over in Southeast Victoria there. So even a little bit more of a tactical advantage, I feel, because it's definitely as someone that lives over there, definitely a different environment when you come to the eastern suburbs. We definitely rally hard.
Love to hear that, mate. But look, this is going to be a good opportunity. It may mean that some coaches, there might not be as much separation this week, given that every team has that double. You might have some safe scores as opposed to everyone having the single last week and we having to find like perfect plays in every single game. Yeah. So there's going to be a long week. I think there's 2 games on most nights except for Friday and Monday. So there should be a very good amount of basketball moving forward there. And just remember the 5:30 tomorrow, you want to get your United and Bullets plays, and if you're playing any from there. Vernsey, we're almost done. We don't have any more questions, I don't think. But what we shall do is we shall go ahead and open our reward packs for this week, Vernsey. So do you want me to go first this time?
I'm happy to jump in first. Last time I went first, I got all the luck, so I kind of want to do it again.
You want to take all the luck again? All right, Vernsey, you go for it, mate. Come on.
All right, let's share.
He's hogging the pack luck.
All right, so we only got the 2 one-player commons. We'll see how it rolls out.
Come on, give him something.
What have we got?
Who do you want? You want a McVay? Oh, Jaron, really?
You know what? Dynasty card.
One for the future. Definitely one. I think he's injured at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, unfortunately. But was really good early in the season. When I say really good, I mean really good for like a newer player in the comp, obviously.
Yeah. And as a coach's son.
A lot of expectations. All right, another gold. Okay, we got a silver.
Couple of Wildcats for you.
Yep, that's okay.
That's right. Well, you got the really at least. So let's have a look then at my pack. So I've got 2 3-play commons, one from the classic and one from the contender comp.
Oh my, amazing! I left all the luck for you today.
You're too kind, Vens. Let's see what we can get. Oh, we got something. We got a platinum.
Yeah, we did.
We got a platinum. He's giving me some luck. I like it. Come on, 2 silvers. Kane Williamson. No, I don't think that's his name. I'm not
Rob
sure.
Lowe.
Matt Kenyon.
That's
a filthy pack. That's all right. Go and give us something. Oh, no platinums or diamonds in this one. But let's have a look what we can grab. Oh, 2 gold, 2 silvers. Oh, Todd Blanchfield.
Oh, Cotton. That's so nice.
Oh, we'll take that. We'll take that. Now, Vernsey, do you have a gold Cotton?
No, mate. I just I run a couple of
that
bombs.
Is all yours, Vernsey. So I'll make sure you get hooked up with that after this stream ends. But thank you everyone for tuning in to the week 18 preview, the round 17 review. Kobe Williamson it is. So thank you for jumping in. I just wanted to call him Kane Williamson after the cricketer, but we should pay some respect to him. Kobe Williamson it is. So Vernsey, thank you for joining me today. Hopefully the boys will be back on next week for the round 19 preview. But do you have any words you want to leave off with?
No, good luck this week, guys. A lot of basketball, Australia long day weekend. So everyone enjoy.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? You guys all have a safe weekend. Hopefully those that have gone back to work are enjoying their times and not sulking over the Christmas break. But you take care, everyone. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place, over on the Supercoach Swordplay channel. See you guys. Good luck. Peace.